Only the second episode into the new Wano style animation, and that new Haki animation. Mwah. Plus Otama. Kawaii! Yo, Hegassen here with my anime review of episode 893. And look! I got a new background! Finally something interesting to actually look at in the background.
Hello, darkness, my old friend.
But let's get into this chapter. And first of all, let's talk about something that I feared, and that was a flashback. Because we have Luffy, he's standing on the beach where he ended up last episode. And he's looking out and he's thinking, what on earth happened? And then he goes, into his head and we get that flashback of him going up the waterfall. And I was like, oh no, are they going to do the Naruto thing? Are they going to be doing the Reverie thing where they're going to fill out time by having all of these flashbacks? But thankfully, it was only very quick. It was only a very quick scene of them going up the waterfall. And then we get into an extended scene of what we got in the manga, finding out how the rest of the Straw Hats got off the ship. How Nami and all that got off the ship, and we find out that they got off the ship by using Sanji. They all literally grabbed hold of Sanji. Sanji saw the whirlpool and he took advantage of the situation to get a little bit close to Nami, putting in a little bit more fuel for the Nami Sanji shippers out there, and he used his skywalk along with Luffy ballooning up to get a bit of altitude and get him out of there. And then for the time being, we don't know what's happened to them after that, or at least in the anime. And it was a fun little scene. The little extra scenes that they added were really good. In the manga, it was only like little bits of text in the corner with like, where Oda does the text box and you kind of see the person's face in the text box with it. Kind of like that. It was just kind of in passing as you read through the chapter. Here we actually got a full scene of it and there's some really funny stuff. I really liked it when Brook just came out from behind and was like, I love you! Squeeze! There were some great little innuendo opportunities in there as well. And speaking of scenes that were exclusive to the anime, we get a lot more of the Zorro stuff. I was actually surprised that we were going to get a little bit more of the Zorro stuff. But I guess, this is kind of like the year of Zorro now. Wano is the perfect arc for Zorro, and it's good to see him a little bit more here. They really made him look OP in this episode. He gets his swords back. He goes free sword style. And he creates a giant tornado and absolutely wrecks the area. It looked beautiful. Again, the animation standards on these fight scenes is incredible. And if that's what Zorro is like when he's just destroying a building, I can't wait to see what the rest of these fights look like in the rest of this arc. Especially if they do keep this consistent animation style. But that was great. And then we get some few more extra scenes of him, escaping the magistrate things. And the Straw Hats that are in Wano reacting to what Zorro has done. And we get a look at his wanted poster and stuff. My favourite one in particular was Frankie, where we get free plank style Frankie demonstrating how somebody might actually fight with free swords. I really like that scene. I really like seeing Frankie stand there with the free planks. If they ever make that as a figurine, I want one, and I'll have it right there in the background. And these extra scenes were really nice, they actually added to the story. They didn't take away from the story. They didn't feel like they were kind of going off on like random little tangents. They actually felt really good and well placed in here, so I really enjoyed them. It's just good to get that little bit extra backstory there, especially with more of the stuff on Zorro, because we didn't really get to see that in the manga. This episode, it mainly focuses on manga chapter 911, and that chapter mainly focuses on what is the main focus of this episode, and that is Luffy meeting Otama. But before we get into that, what would be even more awesome than free plank style Frankie for me is if you guys hit me up with a like and maybe one of them little subscribes as well. Honestly, means so much to me. So yes, just like chapter 911, we cut to Luffy on the beach, and where it ended off last week, we see the great big Komainu jumping out and it smashes into the ship. Luffy's like, don't wreck the ship! And then a great big baboon comes out wielding a sword. Luffy sees that and is like, a baboon wielding a sword? Oh, must be in Wano. They get a fight in and we find out that they're also being chased by some of Kaido's men. You can tell that they're Kaido's men because if you remember Sheep's Head, they got that same kind of look. They come out and they've got a little bag, and we see that inside the bag is this little kid. Luffy doesn't see that, but he sees that there are enemies approaching. He's got a good sense of people, and he just goes in, whips his arm back, whips it around, smacks this guy straight in the head. Beautiful stuff. We also see him here using his observation Haki, and as he's dodging all of them bullets, and we see that there's that like slight little like red glint in the eye, like what we saw with Katakuri. So now we got a kind of actual look as to what Observation Haki looks like, and it's carried over here to Luffy. Speaking of Haki, we also get a little bit of Conqueror's Haki in here, and that looks awesome. It's got like yellow now. Was it always yellow? I always seem to remember it as kind of being like black lightning and stuff, but here it's yellow, but it also looks awesome. I love all like the lighting effects and everything going on here. Again, this new animation style is making One Piece look so hype and so good. Kaido's men, Kaido's fodder, they're dealt with easy, but we see very clearly, and the opening kind of ruins this in a sense, that they are talking to Hawkins. He's in silhouette, but even when you look at the little transponder snouts, the little ones that they have in Wano, it's clearly Hawkins. It's got the eyebrows, and after all that, after all the dust is settled, we get our first glimpse of Otama, and she looks great. She's really cute. She comes out, she's like that, I surrender, and that shot is almost exactly like it was in the manga, and straight away I love Otama and Luffy's interactions. She starts calling him Big Brother when she realizes that she can trust him, and here we see she goes whoop, boom, pulls out a little kibidungo and gives it over to the baboon, to Himimaro. He eats the kibidungo, and straight away he's tamed, and Luffy's like, hey, you've got a devil fruit, and yeah, it is a devil fruit. We don't know what power it is. We know that it can just make little kibidungos, and she gives it to things, to beasts, and it tames them. It feels like a power that should have really have been from kind of Whole Cake Island, like one of Big Mum's crew. Or maybe there's a link. Ooh, fairy time. Nah, it's very much just a kibidungo, which is, you know, an iconic Japanese food. And as I said here, I really like Otama. She's really cute in this chapter. I love how she's calling Luffy Big Brother. She confirms to Luffy that they are in Wano. Luffy gets hyped. We get the preview. We see Ace in the preview. I get hyped. It's a non-stop roller coaster, this new One Piece. How would I rate this chapter overall? I'd probably only give this one a purple, only because of the fact that last week was just so good, so hype, that even though this one was also good, I don't think it's still on the same level. I still absolutely have to praise the animation. I absolutely have to praise the music. I love those new eye catchers and the new themes. I said it last week, the Zorro one in particular. We didn't get any new ones this week, but that Zorro one in particular, it's really, really awesome how they've remixed it into that Wano style. I really want that MP3. The extra scenes that they added were really good and actually really felt like they added to the story and expanded on the manga. But I will say about the animation, you know, as good as it was, there were a few shots where it feels like they kind of overplayed the length of it to kind of get the runtime up, you know, where you had the two silhouettes going like that. They showed that kind of same thing twice, and every now and then I am starting to notice that some of the faces, especially when they're a little bit further away, some of the faces look a little bit wonky. But when we get into those fight scenes with Zorro and with you saw Luffy here using his Haki, smacking that guy in the side of the head, it looks beautiful. So, you know, I can accept that there's going to be one or two uggo faces, but when we get that beautiful animation, it more than makes up for it. There's two things that I do want to touch on that are going to be anime spoilers. So if you're an anime only person, thank you very much for watching. I've been Hegassen, and remember, like and subscribe because it just means so much to me, and if you could do that, that'd be awesome. Can't believe I said it twice in this video. It's probably a big taboo. But anyway, let's get into these two manga spoilers, and that is the fact that we see a shot here of Orochi. It's kind of in the opening that we get. I think we're probably going to get this every single week, or variations on this opening every single week. But we see Kinemon talking about Orochi, and we see Orochi in silhouette, kind of in silhouette, because there's still a lot of light going on it, and it gives away quite a lot about Orochi and his obvious devil fruit. And there's also a shot that shows Hiyori as well as the rest of the Kozuki family. And again, Hiyori's in silhouette, but you can see a bit of her hair and a bit of her hair colour. And her hair colour is the same colour as Kumurasaki's. You know, there was no actual confirmation in the manga. At least I don't remember of them saying that Hiyori was Kumurasaki. But everybody was just like, well, Hiyori is Kumurasaki. And, you know, if you're still doubting it, you can see here, the hair colour's the same. It's pretty much 99% guaranteed at this point that Kumurasaki is Hiyori. Yeah, so they were the two manga things that I just wanted to touch on. Really excited for next week's one. seeing that Ace flashback. I'm sure they're going to stretch out a little bit and we'll see a little bit more of Ace and Otama interacting. And it also looks like we're going to be getting our first actual look of X-Drake in Wano next week as well. Hyped up. Hey, so thanks for watching. What did you think? Let me know about it in the comments below. And if you enjoyed my video, maybe give it a like. And if you really liked it, why not subscribe? You can follow me on Twitter, Instagram and Twitch. Oh, and here's a related video you might enjoy and something more fresh. I've been Hegassen and I'll talk to you next time. Bye!